Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie Down Bronx, and I'm here to talk to all of you guys who are interested in human design, the generator, gang, especially about how I became a satisfied and successful generator, how I built this platform from the ground up. It was just me all day, every day, grinding, working hard. Hardly work. No, I'm kidding. No, I was working hard. I'm the only one that made this platform. Nobody helped me get to this point. People influenced me, but I'm saying I did the work myself. As a generator, before I even knew what a generator was, before I even knew about responding, satisfaction, I was already living in my design. I was already doing what it do. All right, so I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. So we're gonna just have some fun. We're gonna kick it for a minute. I'm gonna go into a detailed synopsis. I'm going to timestamp because it's gonna be a lot of parts here. There was a lot leading up to this, and in hindsight, I'm grateful that I can piece together everything that happened and how XYZ worked and what didn't work. So I do recommend you getting out a pen and paper, your notebook, your phone, something, so you can like write down the ways in which my story might correlate to you. And yeah, the ways I reached satisfaction. Like, I do still have some days where I might be just slightly frustrated, but I have never experienced any like real frustration the way I used to in the past, like ever. So it's pretty much non-existent for the most part. So let me drink my tea. I got some raspberry tea. This raspberry tea by Yogi been hitting, okay? Ooh, it's hot. All right. So I got my phone here. You know, Virgo, I always have my phone so I can stay on track, stick to the facts, because sometimes we be going left, right, all these unnecessary details that don't need to be there. So, story time. How I became a satisfied and successful generator. This is my story. This is human design. A lot of you were wanting to like know how I became Tarot by Bronx. What did I do? And this is like the perfect thing to respond to, because it's like I've been wanting to tell my story. I just didn't have like a reason beyond telling my story. So this is me responding right here. Look at that. I have a reason now. And I'll give a lot of examples throughout this of what things I wanted to do from my mind, but I didn't have like a reason to do it. But then when I had a reason, I was able to do it, and it was successful. Okay. So let's talk about the past when I was a little Bronx, a little baby Bronx. So in the past, my childhood, right? I grew up in an environment, I was the only child for most of my life until I got stepsisters when I was like 12. So I was really an only child for real. I always was able to respond and act upon my excitement. Like my parents, especially my mom, she really pushed me in many ways to like go towards things I wanted to do. Like if I wanted to do music, she pushed me, you know, to do the music. Or if I wanted to do, I did everything, honestly. I did gymnastics. I went to an art school. Shout out to Northwest School of the Arts in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I was able to explore excitement. I was able to follow my sacral responses. Like I wanted to do everything. Like I wanted to do art, I wanted to do music, and my parents really supported that. Whenever I wanted to do something, they allowed me to explore it, even if I didn't stick with it. Most of that stuff I didn't stick with. But you know, you would think I was a manifesting generator, the way I wanted to do everything, you know what I'm saying? But there's some key differences there with that, and this happened over a long period of time. So yeah, I grew up in an environment where my parents really let me try new things. They let me act on my sacral responses. They didn't know, I didn't know. They just, if I was excited by something, if I wanted to, whatever, I wanted to try it, they let me try it. So I was able to have a childhood where I was very familiar with excitement. I was very familiar with what that felt like when I really was lit up by something and I actually got to go towards it, or it was encouraged for me to go towards it. You know, I know everybody doesn't have that experience. Like maybe your parents didn't, you know, allow you to do certain things, or you wanted to follow certain dreams and your parents were like, no, we're not paying for that. You know, it's very realistic for that to happen. And so I do understand how blessed I am to have that experience, because now for some of you guys never having that experience, suddenly trying to figure out what excites you is hard because you never had the support to follow that excitement. So it's kind of like suppressed, you know? So I definitely, the first thing that really excited me was drums. I loved music. I was in band for like 7 years in high school, but the drums excited me because I used to watch this show on Nickelodeon called Naked Brothers Band, and I was obsessed with them, and I loved Alex, and you know, he played the drums. And so that was like my first response. Like, that's the first thing I can really remember where it's like, OMG, like that lit me up when I saw him playing the drums. And I wanted to play the drums so bad after that. And I ended up playing the drums for some years because of that. Like, that was me responding to seeing something outside of myself, right? And then as I got older, when I got to high school, I still liked band, but I did change instruments a lot. When I got to like 11th grade, 12th grade, I was really, really lit up by poetry. I don't even remember how that came to be. I think like my teacher was making a poetry group or something, and like somehow I just ended up in there. I don't even remember if I auditioned. I don't know how I ended up in there. But either way, like people really recognize, like, even though like I'm not a projector, I have a projected channel in my throat. It's the 8-1 channel, which is the throat connected to the identity center. So I would like, you know, I'd write poetry for like collective issues or like racial issues, sexuality issues, and people really, really liked it. And so it did make me very excited for a while. And I was like, I really thought I was gonna be a poet. Honestly, I thought I was gonna fulfill my life as like a poet somehow, traveling the world doing poetry. But eventually that got very, very frustrating for me. And I didn't want to let it go, but I had to, because I just could not create anything else. Like, it just literally, the poetry just it wouldn't come out. So that's how I knew that ran its course, and I really wasn't excited about it anymore. But I tried to be for some years, right? So also the next thing to remember is like the things that excite you are going to change. And that kind of goes into the poetry, where it's like, I had a lot of things that excited me and they changed pretty much everything. Tarot is the longest thing that I've ever stuck with. And it's been like 4 years now. And that's a long time, you know? So it's like I did the drums, then I did the poetry. Then when I got to college, I really wanted to do video editing and design. That's what I got my degree in. Haven't used that degree because when I was in college, I found tarot, and it was like, took a left turn in my life. So, you know, it really did hurt sometimes to let go of the things that once excited me. It's like you have to grieve that, and it's hard, you know, because we get familiar with it, we get used to it, and then we're scared that nothing else will ever come that excites us again. But it always does. It always does show up as long as you are accepting it. So, you know, I also did some writing. I used to do like fan fiction. I've wrote fan fiction for Pretty Little Liars, Glee, on Wattpad, like, but that was in response to like something I was going through, like a breakup, depressing time. So after I got over that depressing time, that breakup, I couldn't write anymore. It just wouldn't come out. So it's like certain periods in our lives, we have things that we respond to, and after that period's over, it's done, you know, you have to move on. So now I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more. This is like more background, so bear with me, because I want you guys to get the full scope, the full picture of how everything came to be, because all of these things did play a part in where I'm at today. So now I'm not gonna like go into too much details of my past and my past relationships, right? But I did have a significant person from my past, an ex, right? I started to lose excitement for the relationship long before it was over, at least like some months before that, and I didn't know why. Like, it really didn't make sense to me. This was before I learned about you know, generators stuff, and this was like years ago, 5 years ago at least. And like, you know, generators, you have to really pay attention to your environment as well, because like certain environments that you're in will block responses from coming in. So I was with this ex for a while and living with the ex, and I couldn't, Like I was just not excited about the relationship anymore. It was really hard for me to find excitement. Like it was just hard, and I had to really like make a decision like, okay, I need to do something about this, because like I have things like I want to find new excitement outside this relationship, you know. So we break up, my environment changes, and then I'm able to receive tarot. Tarot came to me literally that same year after the breakup, right? And that would have never happened if I was in that environment, because this person didn't even support those things, like was really religious, really against tarot. And so that would have not really been able to come into my life, right? It wouldn't have been able, like the environment was wrong. And I had to listen to my body. My body was extremely uncomfortable there. I felt suffocated. I felt like, you know, I couldn't do anything that I really wanted to do. And it wasn't like the relationship was toxic or bad. I just felt uncomfortable. Like my body was just like, no, this is not it. You're not growing anymore. You're stagnant. And I feel very uncomfortable being stagnant. I have Sun conjunct North Node. And so with your North Node, that's about like moving forward. And so anytime I feel too stagnant, I get very uncomfortable and I need to change something. So the environment influenced me. And like, you know, I realized like what that feeling of losing excitement was. And I was really struggling with that feeling for a long time, because, you know, our minds are trying to figure out why. Like what I still to this day, I guess like my body, like I said, your body knows more than your mind, right? My body didn't know, my mind didn't know what my body was trying to prepare me for. It was just like, you know, your life is fated. You need to get on this timeline. You need to get out of this environment. And it was like one of those feelings. I could not fight that feeling, like that I was not supposed to be in that relationship any longer. And the time was ticking. Like I felt an urgency, like I had to go. And I did have to go because I had a life purpose to fulfill, which is this. And I would not have gotten here either as quickly or in the same way. If I would have stayed there, I would have really been just throwing my life purpose away. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the light? So I think it got kind of dark outside. Sorry, y'all. So like I said, I had to change environments, and then I was able to receive. So, you know, if your mind is trying to fight you on something that doesn't feel right for you anymore, go with your body. Do not go with your mind. Your mind is going to tell you all kind of stuff. Your body knows way more. I promise it does. It doesn't make sense. Your mind is always looking for logic, but your body knows the truth. Okay, so my body knew things way before I knew. Had no idea what I was walking into. Had no idea I was walking into my life purpose. I just knew I felt uncomfortable, and I had to do something about that. So anywho, now moving along to, okay, so after I got out that relationship, but kind of like before the relationship, when I was in high school, right, I knew somebody that had a very big YouTube channel, and I did try to like create my YouTube from my mind before. Like I've had several YouTube channels where I've tried to get up here and be consistent in something. I have undefined ego, heart, just didn't work for me. I tried to commit to making YouTube videos. It didn't work. I tried to get up on here and vlog and all that stuff. And that just did not take off for me very much. And it's like I just didn't have anything to really talk about sometimes. So that was hard. And then I started, before I did YouTube tarot, I was trying to do like video reviews, which was pretty good. It started to get up there a little bit. It started to grow my channel because it was in response, you know, generator stuff. I didn't know, but it worked. It was in response to new music videos that would drop. You know how people do like music video reactions? I was doing that. I was doing reaction to TV shows that lit me up, videos that excited me. And those were the ones that got traction because those were the generated videos. I didn't understand it at the time, but now I get it. So I did that, and then before my tarot channel was gonna be tarot, it was actually gonna be ASMR. So I really did like ASMR, and I was like, oh, maybe I could do that, you know? So I tried to start with the ASMR thing, and I did like one video. And I didn't stop because I wanted to stop. It was literally shortly after that, I found tarot. I saw people doing tarot readings on YouTube, and my body felt like it was going to explode. That's the best way I can describe it. I was like, sorry y'all, like I don't know, sorry. I felt like, yeah, my body just felt like it was going to explode with so much excitement. I'd never seen anything like that. I already was obsessed with like horoscope stuff. Me and my mom loved horoscopes and zodiac signs and da 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 da. Oh, it got bright again. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, I was just so attracted to it. Like, I was like really drawn. And I didn't understand why. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? And so, like, you know, because I always was able to listen to my body as a child, like my parents encouraged me to go for what I wanted. That was no different. Like, I knew what excitement felt like. I knew that I never suppressed any excitement before. And this was like the strongest excitement I've ever felt, more than drums, more than poetry, more than video editing, more than anything. And I was like, oh my God, I need to go towards that, right? So, you know, the same ex I told you guys about that I felt uncomfortable with, I did bring it up to them that I was going on this path, or I wanted to explore this thing, and they really discouraged it. They were like, no, that's the devil, that's demonic, don't do that. So I had bought my first tarot deck, and I ended up throwing it away because I was like, I was going with my mind. I was like, you know what, you're right. Maybe this is just too much for me. I don't know what I'm getting into. Dangerous, da 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 da. Clearly that did not last. It was just, the pull was so strong to get back into it, to learn it, to understand it. My mind was trying to talk me out of it so much. And this is where we're gonna have a whole nother segment one day about generator courage. All generators need courage, because you're listening to a body, you know, a physical body, instead of your mind. And that's really scary, because the body doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't, you know, the body doesn't formulate words. It formulates sounds like or or you know. So that's, your body's making the noises, not your mind. And so your mind's trying to figure out what the heck's going on. But generators, we need courage. So I had to really gain my courage to say, you know what, I don't understand it either. Maybe it is dangerous. Maybe I'm gonna get myself into some trouble. Maybe people are gonna disagree. I was like, we going for it. We're gonna get this, we're gonna get another deck, and that's the deck that I use in all my videos now, still to this day. And, you know, I got on Twitter, and I was like, I wanna start doing messages on Twitter, started building my Twitter platform. You know, after I learned the cards every single day. I was in them cards, okay? Like for 6 months before I made a YouTube channel. So I was building it up, building my platform on Twitter, building up followers, practicing. And then I finally felt excited and ready to go towards YouTube, you know, because I kept seeing it on YouTube, and I was like, I'm ready to do this. And so, boom, went for it. And literally the rest is history. The ways in which I came up so fast, you know? So this was not just like some little hobby for me. Like, I didn't, of course at the time, I didn't know it would be a full-blown career. I just knew it was lighting my soul on fire when I saw it. And I had no idea why. I had no explanation. There was no correlation to anything else I'd ever done. I was really scared about how my family would receive me. My mom, extremely supportive, so supportive. I love my mother so much. She told me, she was like, you know, back in the day, I really was interested in studying tarot, and that's so cool. So she's been really helping me. She's a projector. She's been kind of like, you know, managing me, guiding me every step of the way. My dad also very supportive of it. Some family members are not as supportive, or they don't know about it, so I just keep them away from it. I don't care anymore. Like, this is my calling, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had to be very brave in going towards this thing that my body just knew was gonna be good for me. My mind had no idea what was coming, okay? So, and then like me being a generator, like how I got to this point with human design, is like everything happened step by step, right? First, I learned the tarot. Then I learned astrology. Then I learned human design. So generator energy goes on top of the other, right? Manifesting generator would have been like, I was learning all of these things simultaneously. I was learning astro, tarot, and human design at once. Can't do it like that. I'm the type, I have a one line in my profile. I need to emerge into like as much knowledge as I can about the tarot. I know the cards like inside and out. I still study the cards sometimes to see if there's anything new I can learn about the cards, you know? And so with me teaching you guys human design, it is still in response because it's in response to the topics that excite me, right? So you guys tell me like, can you teach us the centers? Can you teach us the channels? Can you teach us this and that and the third? Me in response, like sometimes I'll ask you guys, okay, what do you want to see? Right? That's a generator asking for a response. You guys give me responses, then I can choose which response excites me. And so that's why I'm not going in order, and I'm not just teaching from the mind, like teaching from things that I feel like I should be teaching. Like, okay, so today we're gonna do authority. Tomorrow we're gonna do XYZ. No, I like to do it in a ways where if I have something to like correlate it to, like this generator story I'm teaching you guys, but I'm teaching you through my story, right? And then I'll like sprinkle other things in there, right? Like emotional authority, because that's my authority. And like with emotional, like I did kind of use it, especially when I was like getting into the tarot, because like I waited to see if I still wanted to do it before I actually dove into it. And this was before. I didn't wait that long because the excitement was just too much for me. But so yeah, that's pretty much like the story in a nutshell. Like a couple last things that I'm gonna include. My allergies, like my ear, I can't even hear anything. Jeez. So anything that I've created had to be done for a reason, right? And that's something that I'm looking back and learning. I don't know if this is like a generator thing or it's just a me thing or something in my specific chart where it's like I said, in the past, I tried to just do a YouTube channel with vlogging. That's not doing anything for the community, you know, because I'm a 4-1 profile, which is the rarest profile you can have. That not a lot of people have that profile, but 4 is about community. So, you know, me just vlogging is not in a certain community. You know, like some people have like beauty communities and all this and that third. So tarot was my community, like that and YouTube is the platform. So it's like I wanted to use the platform, YouTube, but I just didn't have a reason to, like a deeper reason for me to, you know, share that. And then, you know, me sharing my gift with you all is in response to, you know, what's going on astrologically. I'm responding to the cards. So, you know, I'm constantly using my generator response, you know, not just like me talking. It's like I'm listening, I'm reading the cards, and then I'm giving a response to the energy that I'm taking in, right? So it's like the smallest things are examples of response. You know, tarot videos, I did not go looking for tarot, not at all. This is how generator excitement finds you. You don't look for it, it just comes, right? So it came to me, I saw it on YouTube, it just popped up one day, you know, like, nah, I don't know. And that's how I got the response, you know. And then because generators don't have to chase, as long as you're open, it'll come. Same with human design, it just popped up on my TikTok one day. Now I was like, oh my God, what's this? You know? So it's like, that's how it happens. And you know, if you get excited about it, that's something to look into, right? So yeah, and then I respond to the collective needs, like the needs of the collective. What do you guys want to see? What do y'all want me to teach you? You know, and then stuff that I want to teach. So it's like, yes, I'm responding to your needs, but it's things that I want to talk about. So, and like I said, I've always responded to excitement. So I've never had to wait too long for the next thing to show up. So as a generator, the more you respond to things that excite you, the more things that excite you will come, right? And this is like in everyday life. You know, if you want to eat something, take this with a grain of salt, okay? So it's like, you know, you really want to eat something, right? Or like some type of snack, and it really is exciting you, but you go with something else that you really are not excited about. If you do that too much, it will cause you to not be able to indicate the excitement feeling as much. Or if you hang out with somebody all the time that you know you don't really care for, doesn't excite you, not fulfilling, you are suppressing and suppressing and suppressing your own excitement. And then it's harder for it to come up. So these little things add up over time. This is, keep in mind, years, however old you are, years of suppressing. So of course it's going to be hard for you to be like, I don't know what excites me. There's a blockage there. You know, it's kind of like you're suppressing your emotions. You're suppressing your need to cry, and you can't cry. You know, there's people like that. So you have to, you know, start undoing that, deconditioning that, to get into the excitement and know exactly what it is you're looking for, because you may just not know at all, right? So, you know, the more you do that, the faster. So I don't need to wait too long. Like, even with tarot, I've always been extremely excited about it, but it's like anything that you get familiar with, there's, you know, so there's waves. I'm not as excited as when I didn't know anything, obviously. You know, there's times where I question if it was still for me. And it still excites me. So I'm going to keep doing it until it doesn't excite me anymore. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I guess I'll be in human design or something else. Like, something will come along and I don't have to worry about that right now. So, okay. Last few things I want to cover with you guys. Look to see if you're specific or non-specific manifester. That video should be in the playlist. I'll put that in the description box. Because that's really going to help you with figuring out how you should be manifesting. And how I manifested this, like, anytime, like, I'm a non-specific manifester. I really didn't, like, you know, I just can think of things in my mind that I want, and that's pretty much it. And then it'll come to a certain extent. Like, if it's a relationship stuff, that's free will. It's a little bit different. But non-specific, you can just kind of envision what you want, how you want it to make you feel, and you let it go, right? For others of you, you may have to write stuff down more often, how you want things to look for you. Okay, the next thing is responding is like a muscle, similar to intuition, right? So everybody has intuition. Everybody, not everybody is meant to be, you know, a psychic healer. That's not everybody's life purpose, right? But everybody has intuition. Everybody has intuitive gifts, psychic abilities. But it's a muscle, okay, right? So if you never use that muscle, you can't just expect to bench press. You know, like if you in like, let's talk like health and gym wise, like you have muscles, but you can't just go up in a gym and expect to like lift 250. You know what I'm saying? Like, same with responding. If you don't use that muscle, or you know that you haven't used it, you don't use it, you operate from the mind, you do what's most logical, you do what you feel like you should do, what people tell you to do, instead of what excites you, that response muscle is weak. Okay, so you're not gonna feel it. It's not gonna be strong. Like I said, from a child, I was using the muscle. I was always responding. I was always in excitement mode, ready for the next thing. I knew it was gonna come. I was using that muscle, been ready. I keep that thing on me. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, if you don't use it, you can't expect to just go full force into being a generator and response mode. You know, you don't have the muscle built up. So build the muscle for small things. You know, if you're excited by a song, you know, like, pay attention to those things. If you want to watch a movie, you're like, ooh, I know what I want to eat today. Go eat the food. You know what I'm saying? That's responding. Or somebody's like, oh, do you want to come over? And you're so excited. Yeah, you know, go with those little excitement thingies. That's how you build up the muscle, okay? And then the last thing I want you guys to remember is that you cannot copy someone else's excitement or hobby, or just create excitement from things that you're good at. So, you know, if I'm looking at somebody's life, like, okay, let's say for example, somebody's looking at my life and they see all the excitement I have for tarot and this YouTube and the platform, and somebody tries to copy that, And it's not in response, it's just from the mind, because they're thinking, oh, I can do that. But it's no like real excitement there. It's just like out of ego or out of the mind. It's not gonna work for them, because this is what excites me. This may not be what excites you. Or it might excite you, but it's a different thing. It's not like you want to commit to it, or a career. You know, it's like, it could be a hobby, or you just like to watch it. Like, that's like me looking at somebody who's like an amazing, like, I don't know, artist. And just because I can draw, I'm like, let me try to, get the traction they have, or, I can build up or whatever. I would be so frustrated, because that's not what excites me. Like, the thought of having like credibility as an artist, yeah, it might excite me, but the art itself, it doesn't excite me. So I can never copy somebody else's excitement. You have to go with what excites you, and that you'll always have success in that in some way. Okay. And I can't just create excitement from things I'm good at. Like, I can draw, right? I can sing, I can dance, I can do poetry, but those things don't excite me the way that they used to. So it would be like pulling teeth for me to try to make a career out of like those things that I'm good at, but they don't bring me excitement in the same way that they used to, right? So, I could definitely do something with that, but it would be so draining because it doesn't come naturally. Like, tarot, always get energy for it, can get up and do a video, so happy to record, so excited. It just hasn't went away. So, I hope it doesn't go away. If it does, I know something new will come. But this is how I built this life for myself. It was completely in response. Tarot, I did not go looking for tarot. It literally fell into my lap, and all I did was respond to the excitement of it. And then I wanted to share this gift on YouTube, and it was just me listening to my body every step of the way, being courageous, not getting scared, or not. I was still scared, but not letting fear talk me out of it, because I did try to talk myself out of it, but the excitement was like, it overrid everything else, and nothing else really matters. So I continue to do that, built this up, continuing to build. We're here now. I'm teaching you about human design, and it's a perfect way to correlate. Like, I'm somebody who likes to correlate things. I find the connections, and then I share with you. So that's what we have here, y'all. That's my story. I try to include as much detail. I hope I didn't forget anything, but that's the premise of it. And so as long as you are in response like I was, you should have no problems. Remember, build up the generator muscle. It's not something that you can just jump into and bench press 250 pounds of generator response juice, okay? So take your time and let me know how this resonates with y'all. Anything you can relate to, anything that stood out to you, I want to hear in the comments down below. Please, 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 please respond. Okay, love you guys. I am at Tarot by Bronx.